All right, you've gotten your pieces back from the laser cutter. So what you want to do right now is just go through, make sure you're not missing any of the pieces. So go through, start putting them in their spots, making sure everything's lining up so there's no problems and everything fits in its place. Okay, hopefully you went through, made sure all your pieces are here and everything's fitting into the place. What we want to do right now is starting to glue our pieces. We're going to use our wood glue here or Elmer's glue, either one will work. When you go to use the glue, don't open the bottle an entire way, just a little bit. Remember, we don't want a lot of excess glue laying on these pieces, so just open it a little bit, enough to get out a small bead. So if we can see that, we just want a small amount. Might even have to open it up just a little more. So again, we don't want it pouring all the way out. We just want a little bit in there. So make sure we got a little bit there, a little bit. All right. So you can see again, not a ton of glue on there, just a little bit. And then we're going to put these into place. Now you notice when you do put them into place, they can kind of lean back and forth. So you're going to want to make sure they're pretty straight. Okay, that when we go to put everything together, everything's going to fit nicely. If these are leaning, we may have a problem later on getting everything put together. So again, you're going to go through, and when we design these, we're going to glue each level. So I'll glue the pieces into this level and then this level. We'll let them dry. Then eventually we'll add our all three sections here, the bottom, the middle, and then our side walls. And eventually you guys will get your acrylic and we'll put that on the top. So what you want to do right now is go through, like I said before, put a little bit of glue on each of these pieces, put them into place. Again, if you have a ton of glue on here, it's going to spread out, may cause problems later on assembly of these. So again, small amounts of glue. What we're finally going to wind up doing is assembling the entire marble maze. So first thing you want to do is make sure you got things set up so they go in the right spots. You'll see here, again, since we have the marble return on this side, we're going to want to have it over on this side where it's opened up there. If we put this wall here, obviously our marble would not be able to come back to us. So make sure you've got it set up, figured out where each piece is going to go. I like to kind of put them in place, lay them like that, have them ready to go. So same thing with the top here. Okay, again, you can put these in the wrong spot. You don't want to have the finish line and then put the acrylic on top and the entrance right at the finish. So that I know is going to go over here because I want the finish line all the way at the corner. I want the ball coming back here. So kind of get it set up, figured out where it's going. Once you've done that, we're going to use our glue. Again, we've opened up our glue a little bit, and we're going to just put a small bead of glue on there. Let's see, there we go. Again, not a ton, just a little bit. We don't want it overflowing. A little bead of glue there. And bead of glue there. All right, so we'll go ahead and put our top on, so kind of watch the corners there so it lines up. Okay. And then we're going to go ahead and put the sides on here. So if we take a look here, when I go to put this one on here, you're going to pretty much want to glue wherever you're going to have contact. So this bottom part would have contact with the top here, so I could glue there. And I can also put a little glue on this side part here, and I'll go ahead and do that. All right, so I'm gonna slide this back down. All right, one of the other things I will give you is a rubber band, and this will kind of, if you take it, spread it all the way out. This will kind of help hold that together. So that's going to kind of give us a little force to hold those pieces together, so you'll get one of those with it. We're done with this glue, so remember to cap up your glues. Last thing is our acrylic top. You'll see the acrylic top that I send you has this paper tape that's on it, so you're going to have to peel that off. Be careful when you peel the bottom one. If you start putting fingerprints on it, once it's on here, you're not going to be able to clean it. So that bottom one, you might want to hold just the sides. Again, make sure you're putting it in the right spot. I know this is my start, the ball returns here, and this is how I want it to go here. So it's going to go on there like that. Before we do that, what we want to do is put glue on these walls there, the tops, so the acrylic has something to attach to. In this case, we're not going to use the wood glue. I would use a clear glue. In this case, I'm using Gorilla Glue. You can use something like Super Glue, one of those. And we're going to put a little bit of glue. All right, we got our glue on there. So again, this is the part where you're going to have to use your nail and kind of peel away that tape. There we go. And kind of take it off carefully, otherwise then it winds up ripping and then you got to play around with it. All right, so again, this is going to be my bottom side, so I'm trying not to touch the acrylic there. Okay. Came off pretty clear, and then you got to get the acrylic on this side. And sometimes it is a pain. You got to have a little bit of get your nail right in there, maybe a little more. There we go. All right, so, and again, you're just gonna peel that back. Okay. All right, so we got our acrylic ready. Again, here you're gonna probably want to try to drop it right in. Don't slide it in, push it and then slide it, because then it's going to smear all that Gorilla Glue or Super Glue, whichever one you're using there. So, all right, we dropped it right in there. Okay. I also like to put something on top to give it a little pressure to hold it down, so there's a good contact between the acrylic and the walls there, so that glue will dry. You're going to let that sit for a while, come back. I'm not sure the drying times on these, but I usually like to give it a good 24 hours. So again, once everything's dried, you're going to eventually send this back to me for me to grade. There we go.